Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host...
I'm Caliban, the noob, and oh my god, I'm so excited!
We're a couple of magical people ready to moon prison power make up this episode. Sailor Noob is a part of the Just Enough Trope Network. You okay there, Cal?
Yes.
You're super excited. Do you want to get into why, or should I...
I am so into this.
Oh, okay.
And it's, what are these new feelings? No romance over here. Like, I don't do this kind of thing. The closest I get to this kind of thing is like classic Victorian literature written by women, for men and women, but mostly women. Your Emmas, your Pride and Prejudices and whatnot. And I like those, and I like the very low stakes of every conflict in them.
Yes.
And guys and girls getting over the pride and the prejudice and making it happen.
Yes.
But I don't look for that at all in modern things. You know, it's an romance and love are an element of story. It's like Dan Harmon says. There's a lot that I could say right now, but I'll just say what I mean is that he says, like, it's like going to a salt restaurant. Do you know what I mean? It's not a meal. It's something that it's a seasoning.
Something that you add. Yeah.
But I am getting into this. If this is what young women and older women appreciate about this kind of anime and this storytelling, I'm into it. Just got her first kiss.
I know. So without further ado, today we are talking about episode number 22. Geka no Romansu, Usagi no Hatsu Kisu in Japanese, or Romance Under the Moon, Usagi's First Kiss, the English translation, and the English title, Worth a Princess's Ransom. It's weird. I don't like the English title. It is clunky. Yeah. So without further ado, do you want to give us a brief breakdown?
Well, you already promised that there wouldn't be more ado, so I guess that was the first one was a lie.
Okay.
Just a little more ado.
All right.
Okay, strap in. A lot happens in this episode. We open on Usagi and Naru heading to school, and Naru is not doing good. She's sort of lovelorn. She's thinking about her encounter with that dreamy Mr. Sanjoin, which is bad news. Also, there's some kind of checkpoint on the road. Police are like waving people through, so Usagi thinks maybe something important is happening in the city today.
Yes.
Something that won't kill everyone, because something happens every day that's important. But at school, Umino tells Usagi that the first princess of the Diamond Kingdom is visiting Japan.
Yes.
The Diamond Kingdom produces the most gems in the world, I guess?
Supposedly.
And I'm going to be disappointed when this princess isn't black. Because that's where all the diamonds and everything come from. Yeah. But whatever. There's a dinner party at the embassy tonight, and there's a ceremony where the Diamond Princess will show everybody the legendary secret treasure that's been passed down by the royal family. And they're going to reveal it at this party. Thanks, Exposition Man. Remember when you were a character on the show? But he's doing his new job well. Usagi really wants to see this treasure, and Naru says... sort of wistfully, well, I'll let you know what it looks like because I'm going to the party.
Yes.
Because my family's in the gems business. Remember when I was a character on the show?
I know.
Back at the Tsukino household, Luna fills herself in on all of this by reading the paper.
Because of course she does.
What if Mr. Tsukino doesn't leave the paper out and open?
I know, right?
I just hear a little pause. Look at her a little, come on, trying to turn the page. Give me to the sports.
I know. It's pretty funny watching a cat read the newspaper.
Yeah, and it's also funny to get like a 10-second scene where we learn that the cat also knows everything the girls do.
Yes.
In the Dark Kingdom, again, this is where you got to strap in because this goes on for a while. Beryl is really excited about this treasure because it could be the silver crystal.
Yes.
Do any of these people know what they're doing? I didn't see Beryl reading the paper. Maybe she watched Luna reading the paper.
Yeah, right?
But they all hear these key words like princess and crystal.
Yes.
And suddenly they're paying attention.
Yes.
But they have no idea whether this is going to pay off or not.
No.
Nephrite says that he'll look into it, but Zoisite is like, it's my job to find the silver crystal.
Right.
Not yours. And this is a real frat house. You know what I mean? All these guys just pissing everywhere.
I know.
You think the break room is like a mess and there's just socks on the floor and stuff in the Dark Kingdom? But anyway.
It smells like of sweat.
It doesn't smell good?
Yeah. No, it does not smell good.
And they're watching UFC all the time.
Yeah, sweat and corn nuts.
Nephrite. Wow. I feel attacked. Is that some kind of personal attack?
No, I just remember like in college walking through one hallway and that was all I smelled.
It does. It sticks with you.
Yeah.
It lingers.
It does.
Nephrite argues back that the whole earth is his turf.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see what happens. He's got the earth and the stars. Leave some for the rest of us. And Beryl says, you get that crystal, and we can revive our great ruler and rule the world. Mm-hmm. And Nephrite's like, I'm on it. He bamfs out of there. And Zoe, my boy Zoe, is like, this guy has failed every single time he's tried to do something.
Yeah.
Why are you putting him on this? And Beryl's like, he's desperate to win. And she kind of smiles. And I'm thinking like, is her stance like, he'll work really hard because he knows it's on the line.
Yeah.
And if he gets it, great. And if he doesn't, we just shoot him out of a cannon. No problem.
Right.
We'll just dismiss
Eternal
him
sleep.
from life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do not cut away from the Dark Kingdom. We continue on to another part of the Dark Kingdom.
Yes.
Where Zoisite is being comforted by another new character.
Yes.
Called Kunzite.
Exactly.
He's got green hair. And if you thought Nephrite had big epaulets, well, get a load of this guy. This guy is, he's the, when the Dumbo's friend wears the ringmaster costume?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's got huge epaulets.
Yes.
I don't know. Kunzite is actually a purple or pink gemstone.
Oh, okay.
But not related to jade, as far as I can tell.
Related to him.
No, they don't really follow that stuff.
No.
And he says, don't worry about Nephrite. We can get rid of him anytime.
Yes.
And that's all we know about that guy.
Yes.
Meanwhile, at Ray's shrine, she's getting filled in on everything. She just bring Umino with them. He can just do it for them. And Luna says that the Princess of the Diamond Kingdom could be the princess they're looking for. Again, do any of these people know? At least we know the good guys are as dumb as the bad guys.
I know.
Nobody knows what they're doing. I've heard the word princess before.
I know.
So they're going to go check this out. They don't know how they can get into the party, though, even though they're superheroes. But they figure they can hang around and catch a glimpse of her, maybe, and see if she looks...
I don't know. We'll give it a try.
Like a princess.
Yeah, right.
Or the right kind of princess, or whatever. Usagi gets home, and her dad is all dressed up. He's in a very well-picked, ruffle shirt, old guy tuxedo.
I know.
And guess what? He's going to the party.
Yeah.
He's going to write a magazine story on it. And there it is.
Yes.
He's a journalist.
I know.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Whew. He must make a lot of money because they got a nice home.
I know.
And a kid that's at boarding school? Military academy?
Oh, her brother?
What happened to her brother?
I don't know. He's around.
Usagi is fed up with all this. Everybody's going but her. So she gets out the disguise pen. She says, turn me into a pretty princess.
I know.
And there's some real Prince Ali vibes here, like the Princess of what?
Yeah.
But she gets a nice dress and a parasol out of it.
Yes.
And then Luna's like, you can't just do whatever you want with the pen. You got to take it seriously. And she's like, la 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 la. So that's what's going to happen. In a weird, misty world, we don't know where we are. We see Tuxedo Mask. He's being told to find the silver crystal by a silhouetted figure that looks a lot like Usagi. Yes. She's got the dango hair or whatever. Yeah,
dango, yep. Mm-hmm.
And he asks her, what is the silver crystal? But before she can answer him, he awakes. And we see that Mamoru is waking up. And it's the crystal, the thing the bad guys are looking for.
Yes.
It's weird.
It is weird.
We're at the party. It's glitz, glamour, flashbulbs, red carpet. The girls, Ami and Ray, are just standing there in their dresses, and Usagi just breezes by them and the front desk. And the guy's like, hey, wait, hold on. She's like, I'm from the Ivanovich Kingdom.
I know.
And he's like, oh, well, I got to look that one up. I don't know that one. Act like you belong. That's how you get into places.
Right.
Inside the party, it's actually a masquerade dance ball.
Yes.
And she didn't bring a mask, but that's okay, I guess. Naru is there. She's all alone. But Nephrite approaches her and asks her to dance. And he's like, psst, it's me. Mr. Masato Sanjoin.
Yeah, I know.
Your older sister's tennis teacher.
Yeah.
I'll dance with a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Age of consent in Japan is 13, as we've established.
Oh, my God.
I found out that, I don't think anymore, but it used to be when you looked that up on Google,
it
would be accompanied by a picture of Dennis Reynolds going like, what?
Oh, my God, are you serious?
What's going on here, guy?
Oh.
Because they would have got sued for the guy from Catch a Predator. Usagi's dad is there. He's taking pictures with a very basic camera. I don't think he's a photojournalist. I think he's just... Because I've done this as a journalist. Like, you get sent out on a job and you get the interviews and then you just get a couple snaps.
Right,
and it's not supposed to be Annie Leibovitz. It's just like art to go with it.
Right.
And he sees Usagi and he thinks, wow, she looks like Usagi. I wonder if she'll be as beautiful when she grows up.
Right.
And suddenly I forgot about the guy dancing with the 14-year-old. What's going on, Dad?
It's weird.
Somebody spills champagne or something purple, actually, on Usagi's
wine.
dress. Yeah. Like a Merlot. And she runs out. Tuxedo Mask arrives. He's here to look for the crystal. He thinks if he finds it, he can remember who he is. And he sees Usagi, and he seems to be struck with a reverie, the same dream that he had earlier. He thinks he recognizes her. Meanwhile, on a balcony somewhere, Naru and Nephrite are talking, and Nephrite puts the whammy on her.
Yep.
A spirit, comes out of him. It's that Pokemon that's purple, and it's got, the red mouth.
I don't know what that Pokemon is, but yes.
It's... I don't know. And it goes into her, and yikes, we've got EVIL NARU.
Yes.
And Naru's last name is Osaka. I don't know if we knew that before.
I don't think we knew that before either. No.
Osaka Naru.
Yeah.
Usagi takes care of the dress problem, but she's back at the dance. She's all alone. And Tuxedo Mask comes up and he asks her to dance. And he's not in full TM gear. So I think maybe she doesn't know that it's Tuxedo Mask. She doesn't recognize him as Mamoru either, but they dance. And she's loving it. She's having a great time. And she also has this feeling like they have met and they have danced before long ago.
Yes.
EVIL NARU approaches the room where the Diamond Princess is. Inside her room, the Diamond Princess is there. She's lamenting the fact that let's say she's not a supermodel. She's got amino glasses.
Yes.
I think that tells us everything we need to know. And she thinks that she's the treasure's accessory instead of the other way around. Knock, knock. Naru busts in. The princess is like, well, you seem like a fun person.
Right? It's like, what? You're purple. I don't know. It's fine.
And and Naru says, give me that gem. And the spirit that was possessing Naru goes into the princess. Now she's possessed. She grabs the treasure and she bolts. Luna tells Usagi during her dance that the princess is up on the balcony with the treasure and she's going to throw it down to Nephrite. So Usagi runs up there, tries to stop her, but she falls off the balcony.
Yes.
Dumb Buddy 3 in this one.
Okay.
She cries, but she's a hero when it counts. This is a very Usagi kind of centric episode, and I think she acquits herself fairly well, but still has the characteristics that we've come to love/hate. She falls off the balcony, but Tuxedo Mask catches her. The possessed princess is like, you're both going over? And hip checks TM.
Yep.
Luna jumps on the princess's face.
I know.
Like an anime cat. Literally everyone in the ballroom is just standing there while this happens. 2 young people are going to die. And Nephrite is about to deliver the killing blow, but Fire Soul! He's engulfed in flames. Yeah, it's Sailor Mars and Sailor Mercury.
Yes.
Once you go outside the party, the restricted party, now you're in Mercury and Mars territory, pal. The non-VIP heroes are going to get you. On the balcony, they're doing that thing where you grab somebody's gloved hand, but the glove starts to come off.
Yes.
And it looks like both TM and Usagi are going to fall to their deaths. But number 1 Queen Luna tosses Usagi her parasol.
Yes. And
at the last second, she grabs it, and the 2 of them float to Earth totally realistically.
Yeah.
Nephrite just gets out of there. He just beats Cheeks away, and Tuxedo Mask is after him, but Mercury stops him. She's like, who are you? Why does this keep happening? And he's like, yeah, I want to know too, but I got to get that crystal to find out. And Mercury's like, okay, crystal, so you our enemy? And he's like, yeah, well, I guess if we're after the same thing, maybe I am.
Right.
I don't know. And he takes off. And Usagi transforms, and her dad is like, wow, this is a scoop. Look what's happening here at this party tonight. Despite that, they will continue with the ceremony later, even though everybody got knocked out by a weirdo for some reason.
Yeah.
By the princess. Nephrite is just hiding in an alley. It's just totally cool. And he calls what he calls his other self back to him, which is the spirit.
Yes.
The princess gets up, still possessed, and she threatens everybody, but the Sailor Scouts confront her, and Rey hits her with the Ofuda on her there, makes the evil spirit come out of her, but the evil spirit's not done. It hits him with this sort of like dark wind power or something, and it's God's blasting them back.
Yeah.
But Mercury counters it with a Shaban spray, and guess what? There's one special move that hasn't been done yet. Moon Tiara action.
Yep.
Boom. One less spirit in the world. Princess is okay. Luna is like, are you our princess? And she's like, oh my God, a talking cat.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, it's not the princess.
Yeah.
And it's just embarrassing at this point now, isn't it? They have no idea what they're doing.
I know.
Inside, everybody else is okay, but Usagi's dad's camera broke and the film is shot. So
yeah.
I guess that's good for keeping the secret identity intact. That's an old Superman thing.
Break the
Somebody
camera,
would get, well, I guess it happens
or ruin the film.
It's in Batman 89 too, but like, yeah, on the Superman TV show in the 50s, like, you know, somebody always takes a picture, but it's like, oh, I guess that camera broke. Well,
weird.
Yeah. The princess presents the treasure, which is a 2,000 carat diamond statue.
I know.
Of the first princess of the Diamond Kingdom.
Which looks an awful lot like her, so I think it might be her, but I don't know. Yeah.
Neat.
Weird. Yeah, I know.
Picture.
Yeah.
Usagi is thirsty. Yeah, she is. So she has some juice. Oh. Okay, Buster.
Yeah.
A little Buster Bluth action here. She gets a little tipsy, and Tuxedo Mask sits her down and says, I know that this has happened before, something like this. And he kisses her, which is a little problematic.
I agree with you.
This is her first kiss?
I agree.
After my confession at the beginning?
Yes.
After all this?
I know.
We get a roofie kiss?
I know. I'm upset about it too.
Tuxedo
I'm actually
Mask.
really upset about it.
Come on. He's about honor. He's about working together.
I know.
I don't see consent anywhere on that masthead.
I know. I'm disappointed.
It's a busy episode.
I know.
It's a lot going on. And it's sort of like a false epiphany, because it seems like you're going to get a lot out of this. Like, as I started watching this, like, I was more and more like, oh, all the dominoes are coming down.
You were just
all
on
the
the edge of
doors
your
are getting
seat.
unlocked.
Yeah.
And then about halfway through, it's like, oh, no, we're not going to get anything out of this.
We get some things, but it's more of a tease than anything else.
It's a huge tease.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet Tuxedo Mask would hate that. He's going to go hang out in the Dark Kingdom.
Don't say that.
Give me some corn nuts, guys.
Oh my God.
Your Honor, a courtroom is a crucible. In it we burn away irrelevancies until we are left with a pure product, the truth, for all time.
Oh man, this is so intense. Data's on trial for his life.
I know. This episode, The Measure of a Man, is based on the Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision of 1857.
And every week on Backtracking, we take a look at the real-world events that inspired classic Star Trek episodes. Sorry. Shut up! Shh.
Who are you?
We're the hosts of Backtracking. I'm Caliban.
You will both be taken to the brig and from there to the nearest starbase, where you will answer charges for what you have done.
And I'm Gooey Fame.
This is not a game. This is life and death.
You can follow us on Twitter.
Backtracking is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
You go f*** yourself.
I guess we'll move on to our next segment, Kyoro Kyomiru, Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode. And I thought we would talk about the royalty of Japan, or in other words, the emperor and their family. The designation of emperor comes from China, springing from a Chinese character. The Japanese term for emperor is Tenno, which literally means heavenly sovereign. The term was put into application after the fact for the ancient Japanese monarchs who ruled before the 7th and 8th centuries AD. Presently, the Emperor of Japan is the only ruler worldwide with the English title of emperor.
Right. And but they're like a constitutional monarchy, right?
Yes.
And like, from what I understand, it's even because technically, like, the British royal family, the monarchy can't by law have any political stances or opinions. Like,
sure.
They have to be totally neutral.
Yeah.
But I think like the Japanese monarch is even like less powerful than like the British monarch.
Yeah, I
like,
think you're right
it's
about
just totally
that.
ceremonial.
Yeah. The Emperor of Japan is the head of state of Japan and the leader of the imperial family. According to the 1947 Constitution, which was the foundational law of Japan that was enacted in post-World War II Japan, the emperor is described as, quote, the symbol of the state and the unity of the people, end quote. Traditionally, the emperor has the highest jurisdiction in Shintoism as well. Mm-hmm. The term Mikado was once used to refer to the emperor, but it is now outdated. The Japanese...
Thanks, Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah, I know. The Japanese Imperial family is the ancientest and most uninterrupted royal house worldwide.
Prove it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's another thing.
What about the King of the Moon? Nobody asks him anything.
Yes. The oldest recorded history of emperors in Japan is the Kofun period, which is the 3rd through the 6th centuries AD.
Right.
However, according to the ancient text of both the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki, Emperor Jimmu, which was 660 BC, established Japan. According to legends, Emperor Jimmu was said to be the direct progeny from Amaterasu,
right.
The Japanese sun goddess.
Right. It amazes me that they have such clearly, like, legacy is important to them.
Yes.
And in a lot of the ancient cultures, like Egypt, for instance,
yes,
they're carving everything out of stone. They're writing the whole Constitution and the Daily News on the wall,
yeah,
in squiggles and birds and stuff like that.
Right.
But then when a new ruler comes in, they're like, no, and they just like chisel all that stuff off. So like you've got these things that'll last a long, long time, but you have people at the time and later actively trying to like cover up and destroy like previous history for propagandic purposes. And then meanwhile, you've got Japan, which has had upheavals over its time,
sure, but
always like preserves generally like the history. And they're writing a lot of this stuff on paper. Like this stuff is just
right
on a scroll. You must
right,
copy the scroll when it gets too wrinkled or whatever,
right?
But like they have all this history that they have like carefully kept documented even through the huge societal upheavals that they've had.
Yes.
Which there's long periods of like equilibrium, and then there's like, we've talked about this previously.
Yeah.
Punctuated equilibrium. But at the same time, they remember all this stuff. It's just like, it's crazy.
It is pretty crazy. The Emperor Naruhito is the current emperor of Japan. He took over the Chrysanthemum throne, which is the throne of the Emperor of Japan, when his father, currently titled Emperor Emeritus Akihito, stepped down on May 1st, 2019 at midnight Japanese Standard Time. So the new emperor has been emperor for less than a year now. The emperor's birthday is a national holiday in Japan. It is presently February 23rd. It does change to reflect the current emperor's birthday. Historically, the role of emperor in Japan used to be in charge of the government and the military. That role, as we've discussed, is now that of the Prime Minister of Japan, and the emperor, since the end of World War II, is more of a symbolic role.
Sure.
Between 1192 and 1867, the shoguns, who were military dictators, or their shiken, official regents of the Kamakura, during the Kamakura period, was from 1203 to 1333, were in effect the rulers of Japan, even though they were formally appointed by the emperor.
Yeah. And it's always nice when you can get a child emperor too, because then you go,
right,
well, we got to protect you, so you're going to come live at my house now in the basement where nobody can talk to you,
right,
and you're under my control.
And there are a handful of empresses that have occurred throughout the years, but generally speaking, if they can find a male heir to the throne, then they will put a male heir on the throne.
Yeah. The whole diamond statue thing was kind of a goof, but
yes,
it reminded me of the legendary 3 sacred treasures of Japan.
Oh yes, I think I know what you're talking about.
They are the imperial regalia, which is like what the emperor is presented with.
Yes,
like in the West, it's like the crown, the bail or whatever, and the scepter or whatever.
Yes,
and they were also reportedly, or in legend, presented by like this figure that was by the guy who was the son of Amaterasu or whatever.
Right.
And it's like a mirror. It's the mirror, Yata no Kagami, the jewel, Yasakani no Magatama, and the sword, Kusanagi. Yes. And this is to represent the 3 primary virtues of wisdom, benevolence, and valor, respectively. And they didn't stick around long. They like showed up in like the 8th century or so is like when they started using these. And then in like the 12th century, there was one of these periods of upheaval. And the mother of the child emperor like threw them in the ocean because she was like, if we don't want anybody to have this stuff because whoever has it, can rule or whatever. So tossed them. And apparently they were able to recover the mirror and the jewel, but not the sword.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so like a replica of the sword was made. And again, this is all historical, but a lot of it is legend too. So supposedly these things still exist.
Right.
And like last year when the guy was crowned emperor, they bring him out, but nobody sees him. They don't show him to anybody. So we don't know if there's anything like in the box or anything like that.
Right. It's interesting.
Actually, no, there are no photos of them. There's only conjectural images. Like if you Google them, you're like, this is what the sword probably looks like. It's like the old Chinese straight sword. Okay. It's not like a katana.
Okay, sure.
And it's like a jade jewel, and it's like a mirror type thing.
Okay. So does the mirror have jewels on it?
Nobody's seen it, so we don't know. Okay. It would probably just be polished metal, and just ornamental.
It's interesting. I feel like those are it's interesting that these symbols of the emperor are mythological as well.
Well, they have to be. The emperor's divine.
Right.
You're already in that territory.
Which is, the weird thing. And so everyone grew up believing that the emperor was divine and was like a spirit and you could not hear their voice. Yeah.
And they published that photo of MacArthur with the emperor or whatever. And MacArthur's got like 8 inches on the guy. And they specifically like distributed that picture. So Japanese people be like, oh, our God's kind of short.
Well, and then he came on the radio and
I'm not a god.
Announced, I'm not a god. And like, also we're surrendering.
Yeah.
And like, I think, there was just a lot of disillusionment within the country. Like, I just heard what I thought was a god's voice and I didn't die. So,
right.
He must not be a god. And I think there was a lot of,
let's create Tezuka. Let's create Astro Boy.
Yeah, right.
How about Godzilla?
Oh my goodness.
If you can't have God, Godzilla.
There you go.
I just heard Godzilla's voice and I didn't die.
Oh, yeah. So moving on to Ichidakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat during this episode? So there was a dinner party at the embassy, but we didn't really see anybody eating dinner.
Yeah, they even said dinner. They didn't say reception. They said dinner party.
They did. Another party guest spills wine on Usagi's dress, and then Usagi mistakes cocktails for juice. And she drinks it and says it's delicious. And she hiccups and appears to be drunk. In the Deke dub, just want to mention real quick, Usagi was said to be sick and not drunk.
I'm going to kiss this sick girl. It doesn't fix anything.
No, I know. It doesn't. My Heart is a Kaleidoscope, where we talk about the fashion of Sailor Moon and what the heck they are wearing in this episode. I think we have to start with Usagi's dress.
Princess dress.
Yes, her princess dress, which is white, and it's got like this big bow in the back, and it has like these red flower accents. It's kind of off the shoulder.
It's all like roses.
Yes. Yeah. And then she's got gloves that have like little bows at the end of them and flowers.
What? No tiara.
No, you're right. No tiara.
That would be a princess, wouldn't it?
No, you are right.
She didn't want to be ostentatious about it.
I guess.
This is the 90s.
I mean, she did have like red beads around her buns.
Yeah.
And then she had pink and white accented parasol with the star and moon charms at the end of like the metal parts of the parasol. And I think she is wearing star earrings as well. Mm-hmm. And then of course her dad's tux with the ruffly shirt. I just think it's funny that he's wearing a ruffly shirt. And of course, Ami and Rei's outfit. Ami is wearing an orange dress with a white collar, and Rei is wearing a navy blue dress with a white collar and a red flower.
They're pretty fitting for both the characters.
I guess. I think Rei's is a little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah.
And then Naru is wearing an aqua dress with a light green sash and a red flower brooch and a green aqua bow in her hair.
She's always got that baby doll aesthetic kind of going on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. And then Nephrite is wearing kind of like a navy blue tux with bow tie with a ruffly shirt and a pink mask.
This is like if what am I thinking of here? If when Clark Kent gets his glasses knocked off.
Yes.
Or no, I can do better than that. When Clark Kent goes to the sunglass hut. What does he do? I'll try those. Can you look over there for a second? He takes his glasses off and he puts the sunglasses on.
Oh, I
He's
see what you're doing.
Those look okay. What about these? Sure. Can you look over there? Like, what does he do? Tuxedo Mask shows up and he's like, oh, well, yeah, of course. Like, he's in costume, but he's already
dressed.
Ready for the party.
Yes. No,
it's like this party was made for him. Everybody's got a mask on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk real quick about Princess Diamond's outfit. It's a red puffy dress with a pink sash and pink underskirt. There's a white collar with white flowers, gem-studded necklace and earrings, a gold tiara, and with a red and green jewels. And then Umina swirl dorky glasses, which when they get knocked off, she looks pretty.
She's pretty.
She's gorgeous. And I just feel like that's a horrible message to send to kids. I don't like that message. Like it's a little like she's all that, which is
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It's more like not another teen movie.
Great.
No, I thought that was funny because it's sure, okay. All right, so I guess she looks better when she doesn't have the Coke bottles on her face.
Yeah.
But the whole time she's like, who's talking? And then she puts the glasses on.
She can't see. Yeah.
She can see. And she's like, oh my God, it's a cat. A cat is talking.
I know.
So I thought it was a good bit.
Yeah, it was a good bit. And then it's like, of course, she's not our princess because our princess would be okay with a cat talking. I think that's what we're supposed to get from that.
I guess.
Yeah.
They don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I know. That's what we get from this episode. They're just going to have to
go to every princess. Harry and Meghan should expect a visit pretty soon.
What?
Right?
Harry and Meghan? Who are Harry and Meghan?
Whoa. How quickly we forget.
What am I doing? I know who Harry and Meghan are.
You're a royalist, I see.
Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I blanked on that.
Talk to me again.
All right, okay.
What if she just threw him out? Like, we were a step away. She's like, yeah, you are, bitch. Step off.
Goodness.
Pushes a button that drops him into the oubliette that I assume is under Westminster.
Wow. So I think we're ready to talk about Villain Gauge, where we rated a baddie 1 to 5
What if
dark
Princess
stars.
Di was the princess? Uh-oh.
Oh, that would be
Mission
weird.
failed.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we're going to rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked.
What's the baddie? His other self?
Yeah, that's all I could think of. Does
this
that
is
count?
a bad baddie.
It is a bad
It's a
baddie.
baddie.
It is a
2.
bad baddie. 2? Okay.
It might be immensely powerful. Certainly, like, in the 15 seconds we get to see it do something.
Yes.
Everybody is really concerned that this could be a real bad thing. And at one point it's doing its dark wind powers or whatever. And like there are people like floating in midair. Like it rocks. It flips the ballroom over basically.
Right.
And then, we just throw a prayer slip on it and Moon Tiara action and we're all done with this.
Yeah.
Like Tensi lasted longer than that.
Yeah, you're right.
So 2.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3. Just because it jumped from person to person. I thought that was pretty cool. But
what if it possessed somebody powerful?
Yeah,
like Tuxedo Mask.
There you go, and he threw roses at people and it hurt them.
How come he didn't use his cane? He could have just had her grab my cane, and then he could have lowered her down because the cane extends.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very valid point.
I don't know about this show.
Well, I wanted to talk about this episode and anything new that's come up, and I feel like there's a lot. We already talked about kunzite, so I won't repeat that.
Yeah. They're gonna run out of gems. Well, they all have to be ites.
Yes.
So they're going to get into like magnetite. He's a sticky guy. And I'm out of ites. I mean, ite just means mineral, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, whatever. Banana. Ite,
yeah, I know, right?
Yellow.
So, of course, we get Usagi and a tuxedo mask getting the feelings like this feels familiar. Like Usagi, like what I feel like I've danced with them before a long time ago. Familiar.
Let's just stop the show.
Oh no, I don't want to stop the show.
Let's just stop it. Let's just stop it.
No, I don't want to stop it.
This is drawn like a Disney princess type tropes.
It is. It is.
If Snow White kicked ass.
The part in this episode where Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon fall from the balcony and use the parasol to float down to the ground was actually cut from the Deke dub. The part where they fell was edited to move backwards. I believe...
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that even means, but I believe that it was cut because they didn't want kids to try... Huh?
Imitative.
Yeah, they didn't want kids to use an umbrella and parasol to float down from a window. Right.
But kids drinking mommy and daddy's juice, that's fine.
Well, I know. Well, in the deep dub, she got sick. But so what's weird about them not having it in this episode is in the episode Day of Destiny, which is the combined of the last two episodes in the Deke dub. They show them floating down in the parasol, and I have no idea why we would do that. Or there's just like a still picture of them at the parasol. Like, why would you do that if you cut it from the previous episode? It just doesn't even make sense to me.
I haven't seen the episode.
Yeah,
so I can't say.
Fair.
But maybe it didn't seem quite so easily imitatable. There was that one part where Ami sticks her finger in a light socket in order to...
Oh, come on.
And they knew that they probably shouldn't... She's got a RoboCop thing on, and she has a device that allows her to just plug into the grid.
Stop.
And it's in her finger.
That would be weird.
They thought, no, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In our newer segment, Natsukashi Omoide, where we talk about topics that we revisited from previous episodes, I thought we would talk about reasons why people wear facial masks in Japan. This is something we talked about because in a previous episode, Rei was wearing a mask because she was sick and she didn't want to get other people sick.
Right.
So that's like a pretty big reason. But another reason is for people who have allergies. Apparently back in 2003, a company called Unicharm created a new mask targeted at people who suffered from hay fever. Previously, most face masks were made out of cotton with an inner pocket that you could place gauze into.
What?
Yes. So there's like an inner pocket close to your mouth. You
I put beef
gauze
jerky in
into.
mine.
Yeah, well, after one wearing, the user would throw out the gauze and wash the mask and put new gauze in and wear it another time.
So people are just like wearing painter's masks or like the plastic ones, for like airbrushing.
Yeah.
I guess that would work.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the corporate responsibility laws are like in Japan. They're very loose here. Airborne is basically just vitamin C,
right,
and a little Alka-Seltzer. It doesn't do anything. But yeah, I mean, I guess if they were like nanopore and they were small enough, they could block most allergens in the air. But it just seems like a lot of effort.
They're targeting them. So
take a Zyrtec.
Yeah, I know. The Unicharm's hay fever masks were made out of non-woven substances, which catches the pollen better.
You don't have to do their sales pitch for them.
I'm not. But they're also 100% disposable and can be bought inexpensively.
Inexpensive too.
Yeah.
Stop doing their sales pitch.
Okay.
In packs of 12. At your local 7-Mart.
All right. As of 2014, the new mask made up 86% of all masks that were available. In 2009, during a flu pandemic, the number of people wearing masks in Japan increased a lot.
And it's probably pretty high right now.
Well, yeah, probably.
I was thinking about this.
Yes.
This is totally appropriate. They got this cruise ship, right? There's a coronavirus scare. Mm-hmm. They park the cruise ship on the dock, and they go, y'all got to stay here. Mm-hmm. This is the floating containment quarantine unit.
Right.
I ain't staying there.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a guy with a gun at the gangplank? Like, how do you enforce this?
Yeah.
Because I would just jump out of the window of my stateroom.
Right.
And land in the water. And we'd probably be on the cruise together. So I'm thinking I'd have to push you first. And then I would jump out. We swim to the dock or to the side or whatever. There's definitely somebody there who's with white gloves and a mask ready to grab us. Now, what do they do with us? Because if we stay on that ship and we don't have coronavirus, we are going to get coronavirus.
Yeah, you're right.
It's going to happen eventually. Right. If we come off the dock and we don't have it and they put us back on the ship, legally then, aren't they responsible for putting us into an environment where
I would say
we didn't have it and we can catch it?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Now, if we do have it, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But they could take us to a hospital and have all the facilities for us, and we're not on a floating mall.
Right.
These are the kind of things I think about.
I get it. Yeah. I do.
Well, you're the one who's going to have to swim, so. That's what I thought, and especially in Japan, where, I don't know, they push people onto subway trains.
They do.
I don't know. I just feel like they are conscientious about legal issues and things like that. And so they are basically killing us or putting us in a position where they're threatening our lives.
No, you're right.
If we don't have it.
Right.
And they can't prove right there on the dock whether we have it or not.
Right.
So they would have to take us to a hospital, quarantine unit, and not put us back on the boat. There is no downside.
Yeah.
Unless there's a Japanese guy with a flamethrower standing on the wharf there.
Right. Which I highly doubt.
Like it's Resident Evil is waiting to hit anybody that comes out of the water.
Right. I hope not.
Sorry, go ahead.
So some people wear face masks to safeguard against pollution. A teenage girl wears one so people won't bother her.
That's like headphones?
Yeah, like you wear a face mask and headphones and then people won't talk to you.
Neat.
Yeah. Other people wear masks in winter to help keep their faces warm. Some women wear masks so you can't see their face without makeup. Others like how the mask makes their faces appear slighter. Apparently, in Japan, it is considered desirable to have a quote-unquote small face.
She's got that small face mask look.
Right. So the just for show mask or the date masuku became very popular.
You know how to get a small looking face?
Huh.
Eat a lot of sour candy. Like,
you're just like, ooh, I like that.
So attractive.
There are masks with lots of designs on them. They even make black masks and sell them as like being like ninja masks, so they're more desirable for guys. I
want a skull mouth on mine.
Right. Some celebrities wear masks in the hopes that they won't be seen. There's even a company that sells a mask that claims to help you lose weight. So there you go.
And
lots of different reasons.
My beef jerky one, yeah.
Well, now we are where we rate the episode 1 to 5 roses, 5 being the best. I have a serious problem with the end of this episode, which we basically talked about with Tuxedo Mask, kind of taking advantage of the situation and kissing Usagi while she's drunk.
I'm not saying it's okay. It was a different time. I know it wasn't like the 1860s, but I'm just saying they're not trying to frame it like that.
No, I know.
And so no, it's not acceptable today. It doesn't look good, but it's hard to totally cancel it just because
I know. And the problem I have, like, it happens very similarly in the manga. I've seen this episode before multiple times. Never was bothered by it before, but watching
you're better now.
Yeah,
you're a better person now.
But watching it now, it bothers me. So I have to say, because of that, I'm going to only give it 3 out of 5 roses.
Well, I was going to give it 3 out of 5 without really considering that, or at least making that one of my considerations.
Okay.
I don't like story tease.
Yeah.
I know we got to stretch this out to 200 episodes or whatever, but I don't like being promised all this stuff. I think we've earned it. I think it's time. It's one thing to have, be in an elevator with Tuxedo Mask and only be able to ask him, where'd you go to school? Oh, why am I doing this? But it seemed like we were going to get something here. And then we don't get anything. And everybody looks dumb. Even the bad guys look dumb. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And somebody should know what they're doing, right?
I agree with you.
So there's stakes. I know this is not like a really dramatic anime, but I want to feel like we do need to find this princess for some reason.
Yes.
Because it would be bad if we didn't.
Right.
But these guys are just bumbling around like Keystone Cops. So, yeah, I was somewhat disappointed about that and the aforementioned kiss. And, yeah, I mean, I would give it a 3, too.
All right. My English title is Possesses Royalty, Seeking Silver Crystal Ongoing.
You're writing these, like, old-time telegrams.
You think so? What's your Deke title?
You're like, Princess Possessed. Stop. Looking for crystal. Stop. Cat reading newspaper. Stop. All right, send that off.
Okay. Maybe I need to work a little bit harder. I'm not.
That's a no. That wasn't an and. Yes, and.
I'm sorry. Well, then you do one. Let's see how you do.
Dancing Days.
Okay.
But it's like dancing D-A-Z-E.
Oh, no.
I made a pun. It's immediately 50 points higher on the Deke scale. Most people come in at like a 5.5 on the Deke scale.
Is that what most people come in at?
Sure.
Okay. So next episode, we are talking about episode number 23. Nagare boshi ni negai wo Naru-chan no junai in Japanese. Wish Upon a Star, Naru's First Love, the English translation. And the English title, Molly's Folly.
That's not bad. I mean, it doesn't work at all in the sub because it's just not Molly.
Right.
It's like Adelaide's Lament or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
They should have called it Adelaide's Lemonade. They screwed up there.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, get us out of here.
Okay. Well, that's our show for this week. And the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Oh my god, I was so excited.